Hey, I'm Brody Brazil, and welcome to Teal Town After Dark.
Thank you so much, Brody. Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday night, January 15th, 2019. It is raining in the Bay Area, but for Pittsburgh, it's raining goals on Matt Murray. That's right. The Sharks win 5-2 over the Pittsburgh Penguins. We welcome you to this edition of Teal Town After Dark. This is your live and interactive Sharks post-game show on YouTube by fans for the fans. And of course, if you want to be part of the show, there are multiple ways to interact with us, chat with us, and fellow Sharks fans in the YouTube Super Chat on the page or the app. You can always at us at Teal Town USA, but do yourself a favor, follow us on social media everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and of course, smash that subscribe button on the YouTube. Joining me as always, Mr. AJ Strong. Good day or good evening, sir.
What up, what up, what up?
All
we do is win, no matter what.
I know we should probably have that going on as our celebratory tune now. Sharks coming into this game with a 6-game winning streak. Matt Murray, since coming back from his injury back in December, is 9-0. Something had to give, and things get going pretty quickly. Kane gets a breakaway thanks to a nice pass from Tomas Hertl. He hit the post, starting to lead up to what would be a foreshadowing of the night on hand for Team Teal. Unfortunately, at 10-17, Pittsburgh would get on the board because thanks to a Chris Letang rocket backhander. That was a pretty goal, AJ, even though it put the Sharks down 1-0.
It was quite nice, and it did kind of make you, it gave you the feels like, is this the end of the streak? It is Pittsburgh, but that would be all she wrote for Pittsburgh pretty much in this one. I mean, yes. Yeah, Brassard at the end, but, 6-on-5 with, 2 minutes left. Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah, no, they definitely got the bad goal out of the way, and not even 2 minutes after that, the Sharks get on the board. Marcus Sorensen gets his 9th of the season from...
Before you go any faster, Dave B. Just talked about it in the chat, so you might as well talk about it.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. So I'll mention it on here as well. So unfortunately, Dave B. can't make it to All-Star Fan Fest. So go follow him on Twitter at Dave B. Pilot. He has 2 tickets to All-Star Fan Fest. You can go whenever, the 4 days.
And Rockets already claimed them. No, I'm kidding.
But basically, he writes in the chat, so TTUSA friends, I have 2 tickets to All-Star Fan Fest and I can't go. My loss is your game. Find him on Twitter at Dave B. Pilot, like my last tweet, and I'll choose someone to send them by tomorrow. So by all means, check it out. Dave B. Pilot, Fan Fest ticket. He's got a pair of them. Would have loved to see you, Dave, but glad you are giving away here on the show tonight, and we have 41 watching, so go check that out right now at Dave B. Pilot on the Twitter machine.
Man, that's a lot to go through to pick up some followers, bro. I'm just saying. No.
Dave B., one of our good friends of the show, and we appreciate your support all season long. Moving onward, we get back into the game. So barely 2 minutes later, Marcus Sorensen, his 9th of the season, gets the Sharks tied up. Erik Karlsson, geez, it's about time he scored a point. Am I right?
Lazy bastard.
I know, right? And Brendan Dillon with the assist. What did you take from Marcus Sorensen?
Oh, dude, I was loving life because, I play the score the first goal game. And I think I've gotten about 5 right so far this season. Still haven't gotten a puck yet, but it's okay. I'll live.
One day.
But I did take Sorensen tonight in the first goal game, and when Karlsson released it, and I saw Sorensen in front of the net, I'm like, "There's no way Karlsson. That has to be Sorensen." And then they called it, and I was like, "Oh yeah," because you know what? nobody scores the first goal quite like a guy who's just signed a year extension.
Right.
We knew that's the whole reason why I chose him today.
No. It completely, and of course, Sorensen, his 9th of the season. We're probably going to go off with Randy and Uncle Darren Stevens. 7 of his 9 goals have either been lead changing, whether it changed the game into a tie or it gave the Sharks a lead. That's always nice to have. Yeah.
Sorry, Steve. I was tapped out. I had stuff to do before the game, so I totally forgot. anyway, who knows? I would have won a Rob Din puck. What am I going to do?
Just 2 minutes, 5 seconds later after that, Tomas Hertl gets set for a great night of hockey. His 17th of the season. Kane and Dylan. He even butt checked. I think it was Malkin
it was Malkin. Oh, that was beautiful. That was Burnsy-esque right there. I don't know if they work on that in practice, but not only did he butt check Malkin, I forget 73. It was 73 for Pittsburgh.
Oh, Jack Johnson.
Yeah, I think he kind of juked him as well out of his jock to put it into the net. So you felt like, oh, Hertl, looks like, and I believe after the first period he let him on ice. It's kind of like, Hertl might have himself a game.
Yeah. And he looked pretty good. Kane looked really solid tonight. Dylan would get a part of the assist along with Kane. For Dylan, 2 assists on the night, but definitely changed the momentum there. And it seemed like these teams were kind of going back and forth after in these first 20 minutes, AJ. I mean, shots were 7-7, faceoffs were even after 20 minutes. I mean,
oh, it was insanely even. And to answer Mike Neves in the chat, yes, that was Hertl's first hat trick since the 4-goal game versus New York.
Well, now we wait and see if he put Matt Murray into retirement.
Yeah.
Kind of doubting that, though.
No.
Second period. AJ, I'm going to have to say, we saw a lot of tripping.
You might have seen a lot of tripping. I was having a hard time following the second period because my phone kept going off with missed calls.
Oh,
just saying.
Where's your rim shot for you? There you go. Yeah. There was like one that was at the end of the period when the Sharks had a late power play that didn't materialize to anything, but.
Well, there was what was it? There was the Sharks were on the power play, and Kuhre get tripped.
Yep.
Kuhre glares at the official, no call. F you. And then later you see Melker get corkscrewed by Sidney Crosby, no call. And then they have the balls to call a penalty on Donskoy for closing his hand on the puck, when you see in replay, it was like, even I can't remember if it was Hedekin or Bakes, but one of them were like essentially laughing at that, saying, that's what you call.
I think that was both of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the, I'm sorry, it's that type of crap that when you see it happen, you understand why fans will sit there and post on, tweet stuff at NHL about bias and everything like that. I mean, it comes off as like, we are looking for any way possible right now to get the Penguins a power play. I mean, and again, you don't call the corkscrew on Crosby. You don't call the Couture trip, but that's something that, just okay, it's fine. So to me, it makes the win that much sweeter.
Right. In to me, and I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but to me, I was kind of expecting it to have a parade to the penalty box in the third period, but I'm glad that it didn't. But we were getting ahead.
It did end up even, both teams go for 2 on power. But anyway, in the second, Joe Thornton, put a little bit of a cherry on his 1000th game Sunday by scoring, by finally getting into double digits. But and you only, this is in typical Joe Thornton fashion, one shot on goal and it goes in.
And this is why we tell him to shoot the puck more. His 10th of the season, Pavelski and Shimmick on the assist. It was a delayed penalty call as Murray tripped up Sorensen, which to me, there was another trip that he did on Kane earlier in the period that didn't get called, but nonetheless, the Sharks.
Christine in the chat saying, I don't think I've ever heard that call before. I'm assuming she's talking about the Don's call. And yeah, that's exactly. Exactly. You don't hear that call.
It only took the Sharks nearly 7.5 minutes to match their shot total from the first period in the second period. At 8:10, Letang, well, we'll do it in their home broadcaster voice. Hit the post with the shot. Oh, well, that's right. I forgot. It's not the Pittsburgh broadcast. That's NBC. 14:52 is when Donskoy had the closing hand on the puck call. We talked about the corkscrew that Sidney Crosby got away with on Erik Karlsson. That led to a potential scoring chance that didn't happen. Of course, Jack Johnson having a heck of a night. He got called for tripping at 19:26. AJ, after 2 periods, the Sharks seemed like they were dominating, but Pittsburgh was still in this game.
Well, yeah, it's easy to be in it when you got zebras on your side. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm not doing what I can. Yeah, I mean, dude, the Pittsburgh freaking Penguins, you're not going to count them out by any stretch. And that's what's one of the things that I liked about the Sharks is that they continued. They didn't, once they're up like 3-1, previous teams or previous eras of the Sharks, they would have sat on that 3-1.
Yep.
And they would have just tried to milk it until the end instead of looking for another goal. And then, of course, when you get that opportunity, I mean, you saw them in the last 2 minutes to 90 seconds doing everything they could to get Hertl that hat trick. And bless you for that, because I no longer need to suffer the wrath of Hockey Jerk.
Dave B putting a poll in the chat here, and by all means, if you haven't already, join us in the super chat. Definitely having fun in there right now. We got 50 people watching. He's putting a poll together. Who here wouldn't care if the Sharks sucked as long as we get to watch Erik for the next 8 years? Well, Dave, I appreciate that so much. I hope I'm here for more than just 8 years, maybe longer. That'd be great. Oh,
I need to check my mic connection.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit of a buzz feedback on there. So while he checks that, I will check on the chat. A bunch of people are saying to check on the mic, so he's checking on there. So we'll just take a look at the chat and see what's going. David Hubler saying Couture got mugged for his wallet and socks and got nothing. Yeah, well, but he said that Pittsburgh cheated, and well, no comment on that. Sleepy Mofo, Hertl just undressed Matt Murray on that first goal. Yeah, also Jack Johnson. So that was a great one. Let's see what else. Let's see. Vince G saying just your standard Tim Teal officiated game. The other thing too was the linesmen were down. We had 3 officials down the rest of the way, mainly because one of the linesmen dropped the puck during a faceoff early in the game and hit his head on the ice, and he left. And apparently he was supposed to also officiate the game tomorrow in the Arizona game. So we'll see.
I like this question in the chat. Will this win streak cause attendance to go back up? Honestly, no. I don't think it will. I don't think attendance is going to go back up to the levels that we were so used to seeing it before the reverse sweep. I don't think we'll see that until they win the cup. or if the Warriors for some reason drive off a cliff.
If the Warriors drive off the cliff, then yes, the Sharks' attendance will go up big time. I will say this: I'm very happy to see that channels 2 and 5, and I believe 7 led with the Sharks into their sports broadcasts, with 6 wins in a row and going it all. Oh, Dave B. Pilot.
Boy, he just
Dude,
serving up
you
all
are
the
awesome tonight.
Oh, Dave B in a generous mood this evening. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. The attendance though is actually not that bad this season. If you go on and look at the recaps on ESPN, it'll show you what the attendance was, and it really, I mean, now granted, there's a difference between tickets sold and tickets scanned. I get that. Believe me, I've beat that drum to death. But I have noticed though, during a few of these games, like tonight, it seemed like a pretty damn decent crowd. It was a really good crowd versus Tampa. That that was packed. The surprising one to me, because I thought there was a good crowd. I was shocked that there was a pretty good crowd against Edmonton, but the one that got me was L.A. The L.A. game on Monday night. Now maybe that's because it was Monday night. Was that also the same night as the national championship?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So maybe that skews it because there's a big event at Levi's, and I know there was some parking issues going on.
Traffic,
maybe
for
that
that matter.
skews it, but yeah, I know that game was really lightly attended. I think ESPN had that listed as like somewhere in the mid 15,000s. But I've looked at all the other games, or I mean, like the last 8 at the Tank, and they've all been over 17,000. So
yeah, I'm looking at it right now. LA was 15,447. Edmonton was 17,320, which was the second night of back-to-back home games. And Ottawa was a sellout. Obviously, it helps that you have Erik Karlsson's old team coming in. It also helps that there was a bobblehead giveaway too.
Well, the time was nigh.
Oh, AJ on fire!
Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Fact or fiction? Ticketmaster ticket resale market is bad for sports.
Ticketmaster in general is bad for sports. And here is where I'm going to get on my soapbox for about 30 seconds.
All right.
First off, Ticketmaster, it's a horrible monopoly. Why sports teams, concert promoters or venues or whatever, why they don't do something about this is insane to me. And I'll tell you, here's the thing that really just fries my bacon when it comes to this. The fact that you can get on Ticketmaster right now. Like, don't take my word for it. Go test it yourself. Go on the Ticketmaster website right now. Go find the cheapest pair of tickets for the next Sharks game. Okay? You'll find like $37. It's like the cheapest ticket. And you'll look at the service fee per ticket is like $11.90. The same exact game, but instead you go, okay, I want 4th row from the glass. Instead of $37, the ticket's $230. And mysteriously now the service fee that was only $11.90, that was almost 30% of the ticket price. Now, when you get the $200+ ticket, mysteriously the service fee goes up to like $28. Like, what's the difference in the service? You're providing me a digital ticket. There's no freaking difference in the service yet. So that's the thing that really chaps my ass, is the fact that it's based on the price of the ticket. It's not like, I get it, man. People got to make money and you run a service, but there's no difference service wise, and it's all automated at this point, for Christ's sake. So yeah, sorry, I hear that, and I just want to go, firebomb Ticketmaster, except, I hate waiting in lines.
Right. And it's the weirdest thing, and that's the craziest thing about Ticketmaster. I think the $28 gets you a happy ending. If that was the case, if we could get a happy ending, then I wish, and like Annie Man, my service fee for Game 6 against Pittsburgh was $140.
Yeah. Rob Ivan, I'm hoping Bart will boost attendance in San Jose next year. Dude, if you think Bart is going to be in San Jose by next year, I want some of what you're having.
I think he's talking about Berryessa, the Berryessa station.
Even that one,
And
dude. I don't know.
and
I don't think so.
we've heard rumors that they might be having some shuttles to get you to the Shark Tank.
Oh,
We'll wait.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh.
Whatever. But that BS, with the Ticketmaster, fun fact, if you're local like myself, and I'm considering starting a business at this point, is I'm just going to because this is what I do when I want to buy tickets now. I get on the Ticketmaster website, find the tickets that I want, then I drive to the box office and just say, I want these 2 tickets. Here, give them a piece of paper. It's a section row seats. Here you go. That way I don't have to pay Ticketmaster squat. And it's making me go, you know what? I'm just going to put up a thing that says, okay, I'm about to head to Ticketmaster. For those of you who want tickets, send me your things now. And I'll just charge $5 per transaction. I don't care if it's the cheapest seat or the most expensive seat, $5 per transaction. Anyway, AJ, do you have 3 Hertl jerseys behind you or just 2? How many do you think are there? That will tell you how much you've had to drink, Felix.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Quick reminder, make sure you...
Business.
Dude, I totally would Venmo you.
Dude, I like Chris. Bart will boost attendance in 2035.
Right? Will Google Arena be up by then? We'll see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Andy, man. Dude, AJ, make that shit an app. It would get ridiculous downloads, I bet.
Oh, I bet.
And you would get paper tickets. Remember, paper tickets.
Yes. Don't forget to follow Dave B. Pilot on Twitter. He is giving away his 2 fanfare passes. So check that out. Scroll back up in the chat if you want more information on that. All right, so let's move on to the third period. Pittsburgh started like they were coming on strong. However, Hertl gets his 2nd of the game, his 18th of the season. Braun and Kane on the assists, and it's one thing we learned from Mighty Ducks 3 is clean up the garbage, and Hertl did that.
Hey, no, okay, I'm just screwing with you, Felix. Yeah, it's just 2 back there. And if I'd had a 3rd Hertl jersey, it would be up here to mark the occasion. But yeah, after Hertl's 2nd goal, I thought the Sharks played well for about 10 minutes, and then there was a spot there about midway through the 3rd where Pittsburgh started to turn it on, and it didn't seem like the Sharks had an answer for a few minutes, and they finally settled down, and it felt kind of I don't know. They just seemed to settle down a little bit. Maybe it was just that whole idea of, look, everybody chill. We got a decent lead. We're up, 4-1 at this point. Like, everybody just take a breath. And then bold move by the coach there with 3:30 left.
Right. Jumbo had a hooking penalty about midway through that period, but nothing came of that. They pulled the goalie at 3:30. Like, interesting. That'll be interesting to see what happened there. But Derek Brassard, who has been rumored to potentially be a trade target for the Sharks, gets his 8th of the season from Tanner Pearson and Rust. That made it 4-2, makes it a little more interesting. Of course, a minute 25 later, with just 25 seconds left, Hertl, after a couple of chances by Kane helping him out, Kane finally gets his assist hat trick, assisting on Tomas Hertl's first hat trick since the 4-goal game.
Finish him.
And they did.
Fatality.
That's right. It is the last Sharks. This is the first Sharks hat trick against Pittsburgh since Ray Shepherd scored a hat trick in that epic 10-8 win in 1996 that Jamie Baker was involved in.
Dear Lord, that's a moldy oldie. Teal Town meetup at Fan Fest. I'm sure something is going to happen. Whether I'm out there, Puck Guy, Rocket, whoever, I'm sure they'll just watch Twitter, and there shall be tweets. Is there a block party outside SAP for the ASG events? I have no idea, but it would not surprise me. And if they didn't do something, someone's missing a opportunity at selling merch and making cash.
Right.
That's I'm almost expecting to look like a tailgate at a concert where you just got guys walking around trying to sell bootleg shirts. That's what I'm thinking it feels like it's going to be. Oh God, there was something else. Don't forget, Friesen got a hat trick with Shepard same game. Hey now. What day are you guys going, AJ and Erik? Erik, do you have specific days that you're already
I know I'm for sure going Thursday. I might be going on Saturday as well.
For me, I don't know yet. See, the fun part is a friend of mine just won 4 tickets for it from KFox.
Nice.
Right. So, and what's great about these tickets is that they're good, for any of the 4 days. So I think we'll probably use 2 for either Thursday or Friday and then 2 for one of the other days. So probably be there on both. And what I think they said the Stanley Cup is going to be at the Rotunda at City Hall for a scotch of time at some point. So look that up. That should be fun.
I don't see Jeff Friesen. He had 3 assists in that game in January of 2016. So did Doug Bodger, for that matter.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
And Owen Nolan had 2 goals and an assist in that 10-8 epic game in Pittsburgh in '96.
Let's finish this off. Sharks 29 shots on goal. You got to give it up to the Sharks, man. The defense, just I don't know what it is. Since the calendar turned 2019, holy hell. Last 5 games, Martin Jones with a .936 save percentage. Remember coming in to 2019 where the guy could not break the 900 hump? Now, boom, .936 over his last 5. They limited and there was a lot of talk about team defense, limited the Penguins, of all people, to 24 shots on goal. Faceoffs are damn near dead even. Penguins get the nod at 51%. Whoop-de-doo. 0 for 2, both teams on the power play. I would like to see the Sharks power play continue what they've been doing. I think over the last 5 games, with the exception of tonight, the previous 5, they've been going at a 25% clip. I will take that every day, and especially on Sunday. And over the last 5 games, I believe the penalty kill has been rolling at about 90%, which any team will take. So hits are almost dead. I mean, geez Louise, how even was this game? 19-18 in hits, giveaways 14 each, blocks 16-12. So, I mean, really, really even game. And is this the best stretch of hockey that you have ever seen the Sharks play? It might be for me. Just over the course of today is the 15th. What was that Tampa Bay game? The 5th?
Yeah.
I mean, over the last 10 to 12, and what was the game before? Yeah, it was Tampa Bay. So this is probably the best 10 days of hockey I have seen the Sharks ever play. You've got Tampa Bay comes in on a 7-game streak, hadn't lost in regulation since November 23rd. What happens? San Jose sends them packing. Then they go to Vegas, where they had never won during the regular season. They get a victory there, put the kibosh on a 7-game winning streak for them. You take Pittsburgh today. Had won 10 of their last 12. Now, however, see, the funny thing is that they've lost two games in their last 12, but 2 of them came in their last 4 games, one versus LA, one versus Chicago. Interesting how they lose to 2 of the worst teams in the NHL. So, take that for what it is. But either way, this has to be some of the best Sharks hockey we have seen, and they still don't have Vlasic. And hopefully Vlasic comes back. The 2019 Vlasic, leave 2018 Vlasic behind. Okay, just leave that behind. Take whatever Jones is doing, do the same thing, because it's working.
Right. Kurz just tweeted out a few minutes ago. DeBoer says Erik Karlsson didn't play the last few minutes as a precaution with the back-to-back in Arizona tomorrow. EK also missed the skate this morning. Concerned?
Maintenance? No, it's maintenance. There's a lot going on. So yeah, I mean, if you've got that much of a lead, absolutely rest your horses, because how much time on ice has Burns and Karlsson seen since Vlasic and Braun went down, since the beginning of the year? So yeah, if you can find time to spell them, give them some rest? Absolutely. Get Heed more reps. Get Ryan more reps. They could certainly use it. I have no problems with that. That to me, that is good coaching. Now you talk about ridiculous, like NHL silliness, stupidity, whatever, just bizarre comic scheduling. Just the fact that both of these teams are literally flying to Arizona tonight. So the Sharks can play the Dogs tomorrow, and then Pittsburgh can sit in Arizona for 3 days and play them on Friday. That to me is very funny.
It's one of those weird things, but they play Coyotes play tomorrow against the Sharks, and then the 18th, and then they fly to Toronto. Jeez, oh boy, what talk about crazy schedule. I'm gonna get this name wrong. Ayao Vitor Almeida, checking in from Brazil.
Holy
AJ,
cow. Good
That's
for
right.
you.
all right. So
Oh,
hello,
good for you.
Hey,
so
now,
hello Brazil, and we're not talking Brody for once.
let it go. Don't do the Brazilian. Yeah.
Ooh,
So
Kelly Clarkson.
yeah, with the 73 of watching you people, we love you so much.
Oh yes,
Do
we
us a
do.
favor. Do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. We go live after every single Sharks game. So help us out. Throw us a little thumbs up if you would. 73 people watching, only 17 thumbs up. Come on, man. Come on. Oh, it's just a click. Come on. All the cool kids are doing it. The first
Jessica,
one,
don't even think about
the
it.
first one's free. She already did it. She already did it.
Oh,
That's just wrong, Jess. I think we got to start like kicking her from the chat or something.
I don't know.
So yes. Hey, follow us on Twitter at Tealtown USA. We got SoundCloud. We got VGK coverage coming in with a couple bucks. Thank you. But SoundCloud, Instagram. If you missed it, Erik put on the Instagram like the coolest carousel ever to mark 1,000 franchise wins for the regular season. Go check that out. There's always the pregame report
Yes.
that goes up every game day. So follow us on Instagram. But again, tell a friend if you would. Please hit that subscribe button. Help us out. No, please. I'll stop. Don't block me. Thank you. Okay. You know what? If that's the case, I'm looking at it right now. Take away your thumbs down. Now we just got a second thumbs down. Okay, Jess.
Oh, come on.
You're gone. You're gone.
Oh.
You're gone. So after this, the Sharks do play 8 of their next 9 on the road. Of course, the All-Star break in between there, but the next 4 on the road at Arizona, at Tampa, at Florida, at Washington. Can we at least give a nod to the schedule makers to finally figuring out how to properly schedule road trips? I mean, we remember the one at the very beginning of the season where it was like the Islanders, the Flyers, the Rangers, New Jersey. Like, that makes sense. This one at Tampa, at Florida, at Washington. Now, granted, it would have made more sense if it was Florida first, then Tampa, then Washington, but I digress. Either way, at least they're in the same friggin' time zone. Christine, $5. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So now it's up to 4 thumbs down.
Oh,
what are you doing, Jessica? Opening multiple accounts? So yeah, at least they're figuring that out. I like, because what was that one year that was so ridiculous? It was like at Florida, at Chicago, at Nashville, at Washington, at Colorado. I mean, it was the dumbest road trip of all time.
Oh,
but
don't forget that we went like to Calgary, then to Vancouver, then to Winnipeg, then back to Edmonton or something like that.
Yeah. No, there's been some silliness. So at least there seems to be some sort of rhyme and reason this season. So at Arizona, come on, the Dogs are the Dogs. They're just hello, Arizona. You're just the whipping boys of the Pacific for the most part and have been for quite some time. Houston can't wait to have you. As can the Central Division. But boy, the game I'm looking at, holy hell, at Tampa. Oh, you're going to think those guys are going to be pissed when they know 2 weeks earlier the Sharks put the kibosh on their ridiculous streak. Oh, Tampa's going to be fired up for that. Now, that's the game. That's the game. If the Sharks go to Tampa and throw another beatdown on Tampa, that I think at that point you like.
Then you start getting the goosebumps.
Yeah, you start sitting there going, okay, this team might be for real. Sharks fan
Oh,
27.
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, we've lost one of our thumbs down. Thank you.
All right.
But the other three of you, I want to show you a digit, and it's not the thumb.
Just
saying.
Just
saying.
No, you be good. You be good.
Anyway.
All right. And don't forget to check out tealtownusa.com. Felix has been throwing up some great stuff on Felix's hockey takes and growing the game.
New puck knowledge this morning.
Yep.
And
that was a good episode, by the way, dude. You guys are having so much fun.
And there was a contest involved, and we already appears we already have a winner. So congratulations to you. We'll be sliding into your DM shortly.
All righty. Well, AJ, I guess it's time.
I have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
It's the NHL wrap around, and we'll get on to a bunch of games in the NHL tonight. In New York, the Islanders beat the Blues 2-1. Eberle gets his 10th man. The Oilers could use him. David Perron. Wow, the Oilers could have used him. But Valtteri Filppula at 1:37 to overtime gets the victory for the Islanders. The Blues are at 45 points. In MSG, Rangers 6, Hurricanes 2. Curtis McElhinney did not Curtis McElhinney this bitch. D'Angelo Zibanejad with 2 goals. Buchnevich with 2 goals. D'Angelo get 2 goals. So
what the hell with this Rangers game? It's like the more letters in your last name, the more you were going to score. Was that what the deal was tonight?
You're going to run out of room with all those letters on their jerseys.
Who's that guy for the Hurricanes?
Oh, jeez. Manalainen. Where's Gen X when I hit that one on the nose, right?
Hell, dude.
Yeah.
Does he have to wear like 2 jerseys in order to get that name on the back?
It literally wraps around the name onto his arms. I think I saw that for one of the Kings players during the rookie tournament this summer. Columbus 4, Devils 1. Korpisalo with the win. Atkinson, Jenner, Panarin gets his 18th, Dubois his 17th. Coleman, the only goal scorer for the Devils. In Montreal, where's Alex Martinet when you need him? Because Ante Niemi had a game of his life. 52 saves for Ante Niemi.
The battle of former goalies in Teal.
He took down James Reimer. And guess what? You know who the only goal scorer for Florida was? Former Shark Mike Hoffman with his 22nd.
For those of you who don't know, we do have the Mike Hoffman San Jose Sharks tribute video on our YouTube channel if you want to go take a look at that. It's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what's not impressive? What's impressive? Losing 13 in a row.
Is that where they're at now?
I believe it's.
I don't think so. I think it was like
12,
an overtime.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I think there was an overtime. Like there was something in there that it's even if it's. I think there's like an overtime loss, so it's still a loss, but they still picked up a point. So technically, it's not a full streak. You know, it's like similar to Erik Karlsson scoring in 14 games in a row, but it wasn't 14 consecutive games. It was 14 consecutive appearances. So.
Yep.
But Slash just saying a loss is a loss. I would agree with you, but sometimes a loss is worth 0 points, and sometimes a loss is worth 1 point. Just saying, and that can make the difference between being in the playoffs and not being in the playoffs.
And I take it back. It's actually a 12-game winless streak.
Okay, see, that makes
because there's
sense.
Huge difference. 08-4. But as of the other night, their GM Murray, still okay with Randy Carlyle running for it. So, yikes! Red Wings 3, Ducks 1. Ricard Raquel with his 7th. Mantha, Nyquist, and Helm for the goal scorers in Detroit. Jimmy Howard, is he playing his last few games as a Detroit Red Wing? We'll see about that. In Nashville, They liked it. They love it. They scored a lot of it. Nashville 7, Capitals 2. Arvidsson with a hat trick. Benino, Grimaldi, Granino again. Yarn Krok gets the goals for Nashville. Backstrom and Oshie, the only goal scorers for the Caps.
I'm still laughing about this whole Ducks thing. It just makes me want. So Cagliano's already gone. It makes me want. What up, jerk? You SOB. It makes me wonder just how many other players are going to get moved before they finally say, okay, maybe, okay, now we'll finally get rid of Carlisle. Dude, I was surprised they didn't make a run at Todd McClellan, to be honest.
Seriously, I thought for sure, and he would be a good fit. But also, look at what the San Diego Gulls are doing for in the minor leagues. I mean, Dallas Aikens, maybe he's your next guy up in Anaheim. That should be an interesting one for sure. Minnesota 3, LA 2 in a shootout. Kovalchuk gets his 8th, Carter his 10th.
Hey, thank you very much, Manda, sorry.
Manda B, thank you very much.
Appreciate the support.
Not the girlfriend, so thank you very much.
Dude. Okay, so Quick takes another loss. Totally. Stalock was some of the most inventive goaltending I've ever seen in my life tonight. At one point, I think he forgot he was a goaltender and thought he was a defenseman. I'm just saying.
So is Archer Zerbe his goaltending coach?
I thought it might have been Steve Shields.
Oh.
Just saying. Maybe Marty Turco.
In the peg. Supposedly their Wi-Fi stinks, but not their hockey team. Jets 4, Golden Knights 1. Yes, the Golden Knights have lost another game, folks. Brandon Peary with their only goal in the third. However, Kyle Connor, Matthew Perreault, Kyle Connor again, Scheifele getting his 25th, 4-1 for the Jets as they hit 62 points on the campaign.
If only the Flames could have played and lost tonight. I mean, it would have been a perfect sweep for the Pacific Division.
Right? Tampa Bay 2, Stars nothing. Vasilevsky gets the shutout there. Palat and Sergachev, your goal scorers.
Can neither confirm nor deny if Khudobin took the net and threw it at somebody.
Spoiler alert to a answer to a trivia question, right?
Yeah. I just see. The other thing I want to know too is with the Oilers, was Todd McClellan really the problem? I really want to go take some time and find out, or I'll just throw it to the chat right now for those of you who can pull up this information lickety split. I'd like to know, what was the record, or at least the winning percentage for McClellan up until that? I think it was the first. Wasn't McClellan fired the day of them playing the Sharks?
Yes.
Yeah. Hitchcock. It was first game was so I want to know the winning percentage of McClellan up until the time he was canned, and then Hitchcock up till the Oilers didn't play today, right? So up till yesterday. Hey, Felix. What? Hey, Felix, you know what? Give me 5. That high five is for you, my man. I would love to know what the winning percentage is for both of them, because I think it really have Talbot's numbers gotten better defensively? Have their numbers gotten better? But yeah, and somebody tweeted out a picture of some guy carrying a buffalo or something on the back of his shoulders, and it says Connor McDavid carrying the Oilers. So let me see. Oilers 9-10-1 after the November 18th game. Now they're 22-21 and yeah, maybe it wasn't McClellan's fault. I'm just
maybe
saying.
It was trading Taylor Hall for Adam Larson. I don't know.
I don't know.
And now they've sent out their whole scouting department and crew en masse to try and find a forward to go after to make a playoff push.
Yeah. Well, see, and I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff. Let's just hit this real quick and then get the hell out of here. So after the Sharks return from all the All-Star festivities, which should be a lot of because it evidently, besides the All-Star game, then they get their league mandated week off. So everybody follow the Sharks on Instagram or whatever, people, because I'm assuming that you're going to be seeing a lot of photos of, I don't know, Hertl and Timo and Thornton's not on social, but I'm guaranteeing you're going to see some photos from, I don't know, Cabo, Hawaii, wherever. There's going to be some scenic locales, let me tell you, and couldn't happen in a better time. Playing their best hockey. Let's recharge the batteries, stay focused. But when you get back, you talk about a hell of a run. It's at Winnipeg, at Calgary, at Edmonton, at Vancouver. Okay, obviously Vancouver, Edmonton.
Somebody say Vancouver.
Yeah, no, they're not really. That's not worrying me too much. But at Winnipeg, that's going to be another litmus test. Then followed 2 days later by Calgary. You don't think the Sharks are going to want some retribution for getting their asses handed to them on New Year's Eve? You've got the whole Sam Bennett hit on who the hell did he hit again? Who did Bennett hit? Who am I thinking of?
Shimmick.
Yes. So you have that. No, was it Shimmick or Radil?
Shimmick.
Oh, it was. Okay. So, but either way, but there was a lot of, if you go back, there was a lot of shenanigans going on in that Calgary game. So you're going to want some retribution for that. I got to, I'm going to go and look at my game notes because I do remember there was a lot of things to focus on. What was the final on that? Like 8-5. Yeah. So that's one that I remember that this was like, okay, pencil this down because the officials let this one get away from them. So I want to see that. And then at Edmonton on the 9th. And with any luck, we'll try to get our friend Drew Remenda on the phone prior to that game and see if we can't ask him what he thinks, like, was Hitchcock, was T-Mac the problem? Has Hitchcock really solved anything if the winning percentage is still the same? You know what I mean? Because
I was going to say, have the Oilers found their forward that will lead them to the promised land of the playoffs?
Yeah. Well, it seems like like Chiarelli is just like throwing anything at the kitchen sink before he's ceremoniously run out of town. And this is a thing where I think the fans are running him out before ownership even has the opportunity.
Right. Quick look at the standings here. Sharks sit just a point back. Calgary has a game in hand, but the Pacific top three, I think, are in good shape, barring a complete meltdown. So I'm kind of looking down here.
Hold on. You know what, Andy? Yeah, okay. I take notes. It happens. Leave me alone, man. Go ahead.
You have Minnesota at 49, Dallas at 50, Edmonton, Vancouver, Anaheim sit just 2 points out of a wild card spot. St. Louis is 4 points out. The Desert Dogs are 6 points out.
I know, Andy. I'm just giving you grief. Yeah, the good God, that desktop. Yeah, no, I feel you, bro. Yeah, dude, don't think I don't give him shit for this every time. Oh, yes, much better. Okay, so anywho, yeah, but see, you look at that wild card, you could very well. It's funny that the three top teams in the Pacific are, another week, and if there's a couple games where that Winnipeg drops, but the top three in the Pacific continue, then all of a sudden the top three in the Pacific are better than the top three in the Central, but the Central is somewhat deeper, so they could end up filling the wild card spots. But if you look now too at the Eastern Conference, is there, aside from Tampa, is there a single team in the Eastern Conference that actually has hit 60 points yet?
Nope.
Okay, then. Nope. So, yeah, tell me again what a tire fire the Pacific is.
Yeah, no, seriously. Nobody's hit 60 yet, and granted,
the
Pittsburgh is sitting in the second wild card at 56.
Yeah, and I know, and I get it. It's all the way you look at it. You can say that the Central is better because they could have 5 representatives in the playoffs, even though they'll have less points, which again goes back to the whole point of we need to get back to the 1 versus 8 playoff system. But that's a topic for another time. Holy hell. Look at Manda coming in here because I like to hear Puck Guy Shorthouse impression. Oh, shit.
Oh, we have to now, right? Did somebody say Vancouver? Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
Had I known that was going to happen, I would have countered with $20 to make that not happen. I'm just saying.
There's still time.
We may get into. No, you've already done it, my friend.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying. You know what? The next time we play the damn Canucks, I'm putting $20 on the table from the start, so you don't do that. And Marty, please don't stir the pot, man. I love you, man. Yeah, I love that you get in Brody's kitchen and tell him to jump on with the. Please do not support this.
The Birds 7F91. How about Bob Poll? Do you believe this?
No, I don't want the Pominville guy. I don't want the. Yeah, exactly, Chris. You can't unring the short house bell. Exactly.
But Reacher.
Oh, Skylar coming in with the conspiracy theory. I like it. Did you pay her to ask you to do the short?
Oh, absolutely not. I swear on the Shark season, I did not have her pay to do Short House.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I feel as though we've gone down the rabbit hole yet again.
Yeah, I think we have. So with that,
let's stop scaring the watchers away. And again, thank you. I see we're up to 40 thumbs with the 75 watchers. So again, thank you very much for that. Again, if you're new here, we do this after every single Sharks game. We also have a weekly podcast that kind of wraps up the week in hockey and also covers some other things that have happened around the league and kind of deep dive some of the things that are going on behind the scenes with the Sharks. That's called The Pucknologist. That drops once a week. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. You can find out all about those things if you subscribe. So please hit the subscribe button, if you will. Hit the notification button. That'll give you a message every time we post brand new content. Again, we're expecting, and in fact, I can promote this now. We'll have a new interview with Sharks Vice President John Totora. That should be hitting your podcast catcher on Thursday evening. So who are the three trolls? I don't know, but I suspect one of them was Jessica. She swears she's taken it away, though.
No, she did. She actually tweeted it out at us.
I know. I saw it. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna have we're gonna be talking with John Totora this week. Get into things like any other things that fans can look for with the All-Star game coming in. Now, you have to take into account too. This is not a Sharks event. This is not Sharks sanctioned. It's holy hell, Marty McFly with a 199. Thank you very much,
Marty. Thank you.
He's testing me. So the thing that's you got to take into account, this is an NHL event, so that like if something goes wrong, don't blame the Sharks. They had nothing to do with this. Literally, the NHL comes in and takes over everything. Very similar to what was going on during the Stanley Cup Finals. Once it gets to a certain level, the Sharks are pretty much hands off. The NHL comes in and everything's on the national scale. It's
almost like the Sharks handed the keys to the Shark Tank and to the NHL and be like,
clean, what I don't care what you do, just don't get any dents on it. Clean, wash it, and fill it up with gas before you give it back to me. That's pretty much it.
What is this, an Airbnb? But in a way, it is of sorts.
It really is. So the NHL is going to come in for the weekend and have some fun, and then they'll go away. But again, we'll be talking to Totora. There's been some changes, and just to find out. Okay, thanks, Chris. All right, we need more thumbs up, people. Is what I'm saying. But the thing that we'll be talking about, I don't know if you've noticed, if you remember, just rewinding just a few short months, there was a lot of people losing their. But Josh D's nuts. $2. Thank you. I'll pay you to keep it on. No Mo Vancouver. Yeah, that's my boy. But if you remember, there were some people losing their mind at the beginning of the season because the Sharks completely redid their lighting system to LED. In the first couple of games during the preseason, it was like looking at God's flashlight. It was super duper bright. And it took them, a couple of games to dial it in, but you don't hear anybody complaining about it now, or their eyes have just been adjusted or whatever. They've also slowly been replacing the seating. I don't know if you've noticed that, but all of a sudden some of the seats in the arena, and I've noticed it specifically the last two games that I've gone to, it's a bit more plush for the tush. It's
All
very comfortable.
All I'm going to say is, Jonathan Becker, if you're watching, before you toss the old seats, I would like to get my hands on one of them as a collector's item. So,
I'm a look.
oh my God. This is hilarious. I don't know if you've been seeing this, but I'll mention it in the show. They're having a little bit of a bidding war between the whole short house thing. Oh my God. And I don't know if
I like the nice seats. I don't know what you're talking about, Skylar. And maybe you haven't sat in one yet, because I saw them ripping some of the seats out, and I sat in that particular seat, wherever it was, and I'm like, I don't feel a difference. But the last 2 games I've sat in, holy hell, what a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, maybe they just haven't gotten to your seats yet, but either way, we're talking about some of the renovations to the tank, how the new food options have gone. They did change over a lot of their concessions. Also going to be talking about the deal with the Fanatics running the Sharks merch at the tank, and finding out how soon the Sharks can get out of that deal, because there are a lot of fans that are not happy with the way Fanatics are running stuff. And so maybe, because I get what they're, I get the idea of farming out something where that basically you are going to get X amount of dollars every single month, no matter what they sell. But you're also kind of, the fans that aren't really aware of that, it still reflects on the Sharks. So if they are doing bad business, if the quality of the merch goes down, if the selection goes down, it looks bad on the Sharks. So I understand wanting to farm that out, but conversely, I think there's an opportunity where the Sharks could make some more money with the merch and put out better product, and everybody would just be happier. They could sell more stuff. So anyway, a bunch of look, Burge Fanatics is a piece of shit. I couldn't agree more with you. Again, we're going to be talking with Sharks VP John Tortora later this week. So again, I implore you, by all means, hit the subscription button. There's always new content coming out on the regular. Jersey Jargon just came out with Jerk and Puck Guy when the All-Star jerseys drop. So there's always something that we're talking about, and might even do a roundtable pretty soon. There's going to be All-Star stuff. And we even, I plan on doing a fun video project when Rocket returns to California. We're going to do something fun with her. So again, you might want to subscribe, because there's going to be a couple fun things that are coming down the pipe.
Yeah, so be on the lookout, subscribe, and follow all of our social media channels: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, you name it. By all means, check us out, because we're going to blow our load with all-star coverage. So,
oh, Mr. Chango, you can get better Sharks clothing at Kmart for a decent price.
Ouch.
No, I feel you, man. That 47 brand, I'm not feeling it, man. Dude, I've used Kleenex that is like more durable than some of those shirts that 47 sell.
Felix saying, I fully expect you guys to use the donation money for more studio renovations and merch.
I'm feeling real happy with my studio right now, I gotta tell you.
Mine's still getting there, but can't wait to play around with it, because I did get some of those stick holders that you have, AJ, and I have a ton of pucks, so that'll be fun to put together. Anywho,
displays, people.
Yes, but that's get some decorations for Al Martin Day. Andy saying that's for upgrading Eric's AOL internets. Yes, I think it's been doing a lot better lately, though. Anyhow,
it has.
Final thoughts and where the people can find you, Mr. Strong.
My final thought.
Way to keep doing whatever it is you're doing.
That's exactly my final thought. Whatever you guys are doing, keep doing it. Again, whatever Jones has changed for whatever the hell his New Year's resolution was, it's clearly working. It's spreading among the team. Hopefully Vlasic picks up a lot of it. It would be nice. Did Kevin LeBlanc play tonight? It would be nice if he got some of that too. So I'm just saying. And again, I cannot say a bigger thank you to probably my favorite current Shark, Tomas Hertl, for getting Hockey Jerk out of my life with his stupid home and home. Thank you, Tomas. You can find me on Twitter at AJ_strong. Same on Instagram. And there you go. We'll see you tomorrow. Now, remember, game tomorrow versus the Desert Dogs is a national game. Brody and the boys will not be on pre and post and Twitter missions. So we might just be doing something. But we'll definitely be here post game for you.
Definitely. So be on the lookout for that on all of our social media channels. So check us out on Teal Town USA, wherever you can find all your fun social media stuff. I'm at PuckGuy14, as it says down here on the Twitter and the Instagram. Like AJ said, we'll be back with you tomorrow night following the Sharks and the Desert Dogs. Should be a fun one. Can the Sharks go 8 in a row? We'll find out with you tomorrow night. And until then, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a great night.
Hey, everybody. Drew Remenda here. You're listening to another podcast from Teal Town, USA.